Adam here again at TCTShow 2019. We're now into day 3 and I'm here at the Stratasys booth with Jan from Stratasys. Jan, good morning.
Hello, good morning. I'm Jan Rajol. I'm basically the head of strategy for Stratasys across Europe. And my role is to help a large account with application for 3D printing.
Well, apparently you have this big release, some information about some integration with transport in the UK. Is there something you could tell us about that?
We've been working for the last 18 months with Angel Trains and ESG Rail, which is part of Deutsche Bahn, to basically try to find applications for spare parts within the rail industry. And for the last 3 months, they've been testing parts on 2 train lines, which have been extremely successful. And we have actually example of parts, which maybe we can share with you after, if you want, which are extremely interesting. So we have a grab handle and armrest, for instance. And the test is proving that there is not only cost saving and time saving, reducing the lead time from about 4 months to just about a week or 2 weeks at the moment. We think we can reduce the lead time to even a few days. And we think we can also optimize the part cost to even bring further discount by using some software for like final element to bring down the cost of the part.
Excellent. So in there, you're not only getting a time advantage from being able to respond quickly, but also a cost advantage as well.
Definitely. I think that's the key driver for the industry is to bring the cost down, the time down. Also with train, if they cannot go back into service because the spare part is not available, the huge cost. So not only the cost of the part is important, you have obsolescence of the tools. When the train have been designed 25 years ago, today sometimes they don't have the tool anymore. What do you do in this case? You need to basically find a new supplier. You will pay tens of thousands for a new tool to maybe make tens or 100 parts. And when you divide that cost per the number of parts, it doesn't make economical sense. 3D printing is a perfect solution to do on-demand parts very quickly, very efficiently. And actually, you can also add new features. For instance, everybody is now looking at charging points in the train. You can integrate USB charging points into your parts and basically improve the user experience as well. Sometimes you can even make the train lighter. That's not always a requirement in this industry, but sometimes there's a limit that you need to achieve. And I think 3D printing offers you a lot of flexibility in the application.
So you mentioned there things like grab handles and other internal components. Is that the breadth that you're looking at the moment, or are you looking to more structural things and maybe running components and things like that, or are you staying internal in the cabin at the moment?
So that's a very good question. I think initially Angel Train scans a few hundred parts, which are internal parts. Internal parts are actually very challenging from a standard point of view because you need to be certified in terms of fire, smoke, and toxicity. Stratasys achieved that certification on 2 different materials. One is called Ultem 9085, which is the same one used in the aerospace industry for flying parts, or the Antero, which is a PEG material, the PEG-based material. And those two are actually meeting the race standard. So that's already one thing which is covered. However, Angel Train has been testing some external parts as well, applying some polyurethane to the part and did some very interesting impact testing, throwing metal steel balls at 80 miles an hour. And the part actually survived the impact test. And I think this is really showing that we can go beyond the internal parts as well as doing external parts, which from a fire, smoke, and toxicity are sometimes less challenging, but bring other mechanical challenges as well.
Having that level of testing on those internal components does definitely show off the durability of 3D printed components.
Definitely, and I think it's come a long way from when I graduated as an engineer. We used to look at 3D printing for making very nice prototypes. We've evolved into jigs and fixtures and tooling. We have some nylon 12 carbon fiber, which are amazing. We can even do sheet metal forming with that material, replacing steel parts, aluminum brackets. This is happening today. And not only that, but we moved into production. And I think we are probably the market leader in aerospace and mobility for part production. We have obviously the announcements with Angel Train, but in the past we've worked with Siemens Mobility, Bombardier Transportation, are already customer printing parts in the rail industry. And they are a big household name. And if they trust us, I think it's because we provide something quite unique in terms of the certification and the reputability of the process as well.
Thank you for sharing that announcement with us. If it's all right with you, I've got a couple of other questions that I'd like to ask.
Go ahead.
So your recent F-150 printer that's coming down to a more affordable market, are you looking to maybe impact some of the consumer market as well, or are you staying with just the industrial side at the moment?
I think you mentioned the F120, I believe.
Sorry,
So
yes,
no,
F-120.
yeah, no, that's all right. Yeah, it's definitely a new printer, which actually, in the past we were designing a low-end printer from the top bottom. This is more like the F123 series, and we're bringing it down to the F120 level. So if you look at it, it looks very much like an F170, but the price is reduced because we know that certain designers in certain company want something quite affordable because they want to have multiple of those printers in multiple departments. We are not going to compete with the kind of hobby printers because this is still quite a professional grade printer. Very robust, very simple to use. It's going to last. It's going to make parts every time, right parts. So in terms of if you are making one part, two parts a year, then probably it's better to buy very low-end printers. And we have actually MakerBot is part of the Stratasys brand. So we have already covering very nicely with a very good product range. But the Stratasys offer you this kind of additional kind of a throughput, which I think in a kind of professional environment is required. And I have so many conversations during TCT with customers who really understand that. I think if you look a few years back, people were discovering 3D printing. Now they understand if you buy a Stratasys, you buy repeatability, you buy ease of use, you buy actually lower cost, running costs. Because on the long run, even if the capex is higher, the running cost will be lower. Yep. And that's really important, and I think people now understand that concept. So the F-120 is very nicely priced for people who think, okay, I'm going to stretch a bit my budget a bit more and get something which I know is going to last, is going to be there in 5 years' time, 10 years' time, and I'm still going to be making really nice parts consistently.
There's one more thing I want to cover here, and I think everyone on the floor here at TCT is aware of this patent that you have on heated build chambers. With that patent coming to run out fairly soon, what is Stratasys doing to prepare for that, and how do you think that might affect the market?
Thank you. I think it's a very interesting question. I think the patents is very important, but we have over 1,500 patents as an organization. So I think one patent is not even 1% of the overall IP we have. Obviously, it's important. I agree with you. It's part of the build quality. But however, there's many other features which are very important in the quality of the part, like controlling the moisture, the extrusion, many details that actually will make a major difference in terms of the part quality and the repeatability. If we look at the F900 solution, which is a aerospace interior solution for production parts, we invest in millions of dollars using 6 different printers in 3 different locations to really improve the repeatability of the process. And we identify multiple parameters, not just a single one, which are contributing to this variability. And we were able to reduce the variability by a factor of 10, while more than doubling the usable tensile strength for the Ultem 9085. That really is unique in the industry, and I think that's why so many companies trust us when they need to go into production. The only solution which is really providing you this kind of a guaranteed yield is going to be a Stratasys. Otherwise, you will have a lot of failed build, and actually when you add up those costs of failed part, even if you buy a cheaper system, it's going to cost you more. And I think that's why we are not too concerned. Plus, we are about to launch additional technology, and we see the future as a bright future for us.
Thank you very much. Well, thank you very much for your time this morning, Jan. It's been great talking to you.
Thank you.
Hope you have a good rest of the show.
Yes, thank you.
Cheers. Thank you very much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more content from TCT 2019.